Good morning. Good morning. You all right there? Comfy? Warm enough? Yeah. Good morning and welcome to another Wednesday morning. End of September. This year has just disappeared in the blink of an eye. Do you think the same? Yeah, sleeping every day, eating, not much else. Good morning, good morning. As always, do please pop a hello in the comments if you're watching. Good morning, Olivia. Good morning, Kerry from Cloudy Clonelly. Yeah, grey and cloudy here, although there's a little bit of sunshine just trying to peek through. Oh, is that it? You're bored already? Yeah, he's bored. It's done and gone. Good morning, Amanda. Yes, it is grey and cloudy here. Yeah, bit of sun. Just as I say that, the sun's going to come out, isn't it? And then I won't be able to see a thing. Good morning, Janet. Good morning. I have the cat. That's a cool tag name. Good morning, Lisa. Good morning, Angela from a changeable France. Yeah, it is here. Yesterday was cold, then hot, then cold, then hot. Yeah, it's all a bit mad. Good morning, Julie from South Manchester. Never been to Manchester, been to Birmingham, never to Manchester. Good morning, Debbie. Good morning, Emma. Sun's trying to come out in Derby, but it's chilly. Yes, it's that. Autumn is, it's that chill in the morning and the evening, isn't it? Good morning, Emma. Yep, chilly. Oh, we can hear sirens too. That's what happens when you live on the edge of a city. Yeah, see, the sun's coming out now. Now that I got all the lighting set up and the position so that I didn't disappear off the screen, the sun's going to come out. That's what happens. Good morning, little Miss Nemo. Yeah, Eric is here. He's there he is. He's washing his feet at the minute. Washing your feet. Good evening, Sephora. Equinox in time zone now, 9 p.m. here rather than 8 p.m. When is your daylight saving change? So the clocks go back end of October in the UK. They go forward in the spring, back in the autumn. Good morning, Diane. Good morning, Jackie from Avebury Stone Circle. Very nice too, very nice. Little Miss Nemo, very weak sunshine here in Hull. I know it's there because it's trying to bounce through the birch leaves. Yes, you can see the sun now. Yeah. Do you know how much time I spent getting the lighting right so you could actually see me? Not that I really want you to see me today because I am a little bit under the weather and I have got a fat lip from that's a fat lip from a cold sore, so I am feeling a little bit yucky today, so I apologize if my brain doesn't work most of the time, but yeah, there you go. Good morning, Charlie. Good morning, Shelley. Good morning, Jane. Good morning, Nita. Good morning. Diane, rain is just starting here, just warming up for the storm coming over today. Yeah, it's autumn weather, isn't it? Definitely autumn weather. Good morning, David. Surrounded with dogs, looking after the family pups. Oh, fantastic. Need everyone's blessing to survive the day. It sounds like bliss to me. Much rather be surrounded by dogs than children. Did I say that out loud? Good morning, Karen. Thank you, Nita. Yeah, I'm thank you, little Miss Nemo. Yeah, I've got a sinusy thing going on and a cold sore, so yeah, I'm a bit plague-ridden today. Oh well, you guys can do all the talking today. You can run it all today. That's why we're doing Ask a Witch today, because it's been totally chaotic and twirly here with all sorts of stuff going on. And we're feeling a little bit under the weather. I didn't actually get anything organised for today. So it's Ask a Witch for today. So whatever you want. Wherever you want to take today's talk, it's down to you guys. Any witchcraft questions, any questions about me or my books or witchcraft in general, or, you know, Eric's bored again. That's it. He's gone to sleep. Yeah, whatever. Let's see where it takes us. Let's see where it takes us. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Emma. Good morning, Mandy. Sephora, raining on the other side of the world too. We've gone from sunshine to ice again. Yes, Mother Nature, menopausal, definitely. Debbie, button down the hatches. The wind speeds are supposed to be getting quite bad later on today. Okay, be safe. Emma, dogs over people any day. Yeah, I am with you on that one. Sephora, I do need to open my own self-care book. I do it every single time. I do too much. I run myself ragged. And yeah, my health's not been brilliant. But there you go. I'm here. Janet's with Eric, ready to stay wrapped in the blanket. Yeah, he is under blankets. He's under the blankets in the summer, let's be honest. Thank you, Debbie. Thank you, Jane. Yeah, I'm here. I'm upright. It's a good start. I am running an online workshop Saturday this weekend. Is that the 30th, 31st, something like that? See, I told you my brain wasn't working. 30th. Saturday the 30th, I'm running a spellcasting workshop, online workshop for the College of Psychic Studies. And on Sunday, October the 1st, I am in Kent at Wicker Crystal running a Introduction to Witchcraft workshop. So there are a couple of spaces left on both of those. If anyone's interested, I will be there. Sephora, get Mr. Pete to make tea with ginger and elderflower. That will help the sinuses or feeling it. I've got a hot, honey and all sorts of stuff chucked in here. Thank you, that he has made. I didn't think about ginger. I will chuck some ginger in there. I've got some root ginger in the freezer. Good morning, Maharet. Thank you, Dawny. Thank you, Janet. David, elderflower and honey. Yeah, I got some good old hot honey and lemon and all sorts of stuff. Lizzie, good morning. Are the courses free? Unfortunately not. College of Psychic Studies and the Crystal Wicker set the prices. I don't get involved in that side of it. I just rock up and do my thing. But there's a lot of time and effort goes into putting them together. So they do charge for those, I'm afraid. But there you go. So Ask a Witch today. What do we want to talk about? One thing I did think of, I've talked about witchcraft fiction books. I've talked about witchcraft information books. There's a couple of videos over on the YouTube channel where we talked about all of those and given recommendations if you want to have a look and go back. But I did think about witchy films. What films do you watch to make you feel witchy? What are your favorite witchcraft films? Now I'm going to go with the really obvious one first, which is Practical Magic. It's got to be, really, hasn't it? It is the witchy film. Practical Magic, excellent. Not just because it has Aidan Quinn in it. I can watch Aidan Quinn in anything. Practical Magic, Desperately Seeking Susan, Elementary, I don't care. But obviously the two aunts in Practical Magic, I would like their entire wardrobes, including hats. I think they are amazing. But it always makes me feel witchy. And it's got a fantastic soundtrack as well. Stevie Nicks and all the rest of the gang. Brilliant soundtrack as well. So that would have to be up there in my top list. And the other one I thought about, I really like, because it involves showing you that magic is worked by manipulating energy. So On the Mark is The Sorcerer's Apprentice. Not the cartoony Mickey Mouse one, but the Nicolas Cage one. I mean, Nicolas Cage is a dude anyway. But I love that one too, because of the way they show how they manipulate energy. So those are probably my two favourite witchcraft films. So yeah, any recommendations for that? And of course, any other questions about witchcraft, anything you want to talk about today, pop it in the comments and we'll see where it takes us. Right, let's have a look. Good morning, Kathleen. Let's have a look at the film ones when we're talking about Debbie. First signs of cold. It's a sinus thing that I get occasionally, Debbie. It's me being run down. It's me being not self-care. Yeah, I know. Talk about it a lot. Don't do it. Sephora, not a lot of films, but some really good TV shows. The Italian Witch one was rather good. I don't know what that one is. Oh, that's a good point, though. The Good Witch, obviously. What was the other one? Witches of East End, although they finished that and didn't do another series, which was really rude. Yeah, Practical Magic. Oh, Angela, Bell, Book and Candle, a classic, black and white classics. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Practical Magic and the Aunts, definitely. Eye of the Cat, a dark song. I don't know that one. Gonna have to look that one. Sephora, always wanted to be. Oh, Stockard Channing. She's a legend, absolute legend. Yes, Rizzo in Greece as well. David, depends on my mischievous mood. Did like the Witch. Don't know that one. I'm going to make a list of these, obviously. Debbie, favourite films. Avatar, very beautiful film, very important message in that one. Let's get some of these up. Dawny, don't like Practical Magic at all. Too commercialized. Oh no, I do. I like it. And I think the underlying stuff is good with it. It's a film, but the aunts' outfits, amazing. Villainous Nemo requested the Mist of Avalon adaptation for my birthday this year, and I made hubby and daughter watch it with me. The book put me on a witchy path decades ago, so wondered about the film. Film and book, both good. I think, yeah. Oh, yes, Lisa, The Worst Witch. Loved the film Worst Witch when I was a child, and the book. Also got my now 20-year-old daughter into it when she was little. I have not seen the TV. See, the sun's gone in now. Now I look like I'm sitting in a cave. I have read the books, and I do love the books. I am drinking.
Eric's told you off.
Eric's told me off. Yeah. Yes, I do love that. Oh, let's look that way. There we go. I do love The Worst Witch books. They are brilliant. Right, let's have a look. Oh, Stardust, Angela. Yes, Stardust. What a good film. We are all guilty of not looking after ourselves. Emma, you are quite correct. Emma Lou. Box of Delights, not witchy, but full of magic, and also features Herne the Hunter, my lifelong favourite. I don't know that one either. Oh, this list is getting longer. Studio, I'm glad you gave me the pronunciation of that. Ghibli, Princess Mononoke, which has huge ecological message. I don't know, I'm going right, a big long list of this stuff. Brilliant. Right, I'm going back up here because I think I missed a question. Yeah, the aunts in Practical Magic make it, don't they? They really do. Right. Okay, back to that. Okay, Sephora. Because I know your witchy house had a fairly recent renovation. Do you know it was 2 years ago? Yeah. Time. It does. It goes, doesn't it? I'm going to ask what we can do as of Monday to soothe ours as she is debauched. I have talked before about connection and about connection to your house. I talk to it. I make a connection with the house and the land that it's on every day. I think it's really, really important to stay connected to your home. It's energy. We work with energy in spell working. We work with energy in healing. We work with energy in ritual. Eric's run off with his blanket. Yeah. Yeah, so it's all about energy. And if that comes out of balance with your home, then it will start to feel a bit hinky. I do smudge with smoke, cleanse with smoke regularly. I did it with the gong actually this week. I went through the house with the gong and I cleansed with sound. So you can do it in a method that works for you. Don't forget to cleanse your bodies as well, all of the people in the house as well as the house. And then I make connections. You can make offerings as well. The house likes to be cleaned because that means it's being looked after. So it's lots of little things to let the house know that you care for it. So cleansing spiritually and physically, yeah, I know it's boring. You got to make like Snow White sometimes. But it is about connecting with it. Connect with it and find out what it needs you to do. And I just put my hand on the wall of the house and connect with the energy of it. Ask it, find out what it wants you to do. When I had the renovation done, I kept in connection with the house every day to let it know what was happening and to reassure it that it would all be worthwhile in the end. And it was, because I'm sitting in the main bit of the renovation. So it was all worthwhile. So it's about staying connected with it and letting it know what's happening. In my very humble opinion, anyway. Lisa might ask which question is, how do you like to celebrate Samhain Halloween, which also coincides with your birthday? It does. My birthday is the 31st of October. Cash presents can all be sent. I don't even know what I want, so yeah. It's a difficult one because, especially when their children were young, every 31st of October was spent one of us taking the children round doing the knocking on all the doors, trick-or-treating, the other one staying here giving out sweets to the children that come to the house. We are in a terraced house in rows and rows of houses, so we are ideal for trick-or-treating. So my birthday kind of got overshadowed by trick-or-treating, really, Halloween. But we used to decorate all the house and everything. Not so much now. My daughter has taken on that tradition in her house. She likes to decorate. So we usually go there. So what we tend to do now is my birthday moves. I'm a bit like the Queen used to be. I have two birthdays. I have an official birthday and my celebratory birthday. So I do my birthday on a separate day to Halloween. We do get lots of children for trick-or-treaters. So as I am the only pagan, I do my own Samhain celebrations separately, which are very quiet, and I take myself off and I might do a bit of meditation. I would definitely be head riding because it is such a good time to go into the other world, and a bit of divination. I usually do my year ahead divination on the 31st October or the 1st of November, just to kind of see kind of look back and see what's worked and what hasn't, and then look forward to see. For me, it is very much a connection to looking ahead, looking back, reassessing. And I will usually put up an ancestors altar. I have photographs of my grandparents out generally, but I will add my great-grandparent photos to that as well. And I've got some pieces of jewellery, brooch from my grandma, RAF badge from my great-uncle. I'll put those things out and make an ancestors altar as well, just to kind of remember those that have gone before us. So very small things to celebrate Samhain. But I mark it in my own way, and I think that's important, that we should all do what feels right to us. You don't need to do huge, great big things, but you can if you want to. And of course, the shops are always full of lots of fantastic normal decorations for us witches at this time of the year. Right, let's I am going through all of these. Charlie, the craft, yes. Oh, hang on. I told you my brain wasn't working today. Right, let's have a look. Charlie, The Craft, Sabrina the Witch, Lord of the Rings. My son actually loves Lord of the Rings more than me. I like The Hobbit. I like the book, The Hobbit. It's one of my favourite books, I think. I'm not so enamoured with the films, but my son has suggested that I sit down with him and watch the Lord of the Rings films again. He's trying to persuade me, I think. Sabrina, yeah. Wow. That reminds me of the black and white film, Sabrina Fair, which is where my daughter's middle name comes from. Humphrey Bogart, Audrey Hepburn, fantastic film. The Craft. Yeah, well, it's a classic, really, isn't it? Yeah, always good to watch. Always good to watch. Little Miss Nemo remembered something else, but now it's gone. Yeah, that sort of sums me up in one sentence, really. Emma says, Box of Delights. I know the name. I do recognise the name. It was a BBC production in the 80s. Well, that's probably why I recognise it, because I stuck in the 80s, but later made into a DVD. Very dated now, but brilliant. Just the date of it. We were watching Miami Vice at the weekend. Still good. David, the witch is dark horror. All traditional witches would love it. Yeah. Do you know, I have confession. I'm not very good with horror films. I am a traditional witch, but I'm not very good with horror films. Does that make me a bad witch? Sephora really enjoyed The Winter King, which is based on the Arthurian legend, Bernard Cornwell's version. I don't know that one either. I'm making a big, long list. Thank you for all these recommendations. Box of Delights is also available on ITVX. Oh, it'd be worth looking up. David says, but be warned. Okay, so the horror film, yeah, be warned. Thank you for that. Charlie liked all the witch-type baddies in the Disney films. Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Such a good series of books. Absolutely brilliant books. Most of these, I like the books more than the films. I have to mention the Harry Potter films. They were the books my children were brought up on. The films were always the ones that the children watched when they were home from school poorly. I do love the books. They don't necessarily make me feel witchy, although when I grow up, I want to be Professor McGonagall, obviously. But there's some good stuff. Good morning, Steve. Midnight Offerings is hilariously bad, particularly for the way they pronounce Chernunus. That's a new one. Midnight Offerings. I don't know that one. I'm gonna have to look at that one. Emma, when I was little, I was terrified by the witch's Roald Dahl, turning children into mice, purple eyes and no toes. Then grew up and didn't think much of it. My children again were brought up on the Roald Dahl books, the Roald Dahl, Dr. Seuss books. Yeah, all of those. I love Roald Dahl books, but more the books than the films. I must have seen The Witches. I must have watched it all the way through. I mean, I know the cast and bits and pieces from it. I'm just trying to remember if I've actually watched it the whole way through. I'm not sure I have. I'll add that to my list, I think. Need to do that. Birthday's 28th of October. Love to combine the two for great energy and happiness. Yes. Lots of people say to me, oh, how lucky you are. Your birthday is on Samhain. Not so much. Not when you spend the entire day giving sweets out to snotty kids. But yes, I get what you mean. This is my husband. Monty Python and the Holy Grail has witches mentioned in it. Does that make it a witchy film? Not so much. She's a witch burner. That's not, the other one's better. Yeah, Lizzie, like to ask how you do your hedge riding. I did a whole chat on it, Lizzie. If you look on the YouTube channel, there is I did a whole Wednesday chat on hedge riding. I'm also writing a book on it. You're not surprised, are you? The book I'm writing at the moment is all about hedge riding, where I put what it is, how you work with it, all the various methods. I do. Oh, sorry. Good morning, Magpie. Magpie just landed in the garden. Just because I'm talking about hedge riding. I do various methods, and I recommend various methods depending on how experienced you are or not. But there is a talk, there's a whole talk on that, and there will be a book out probably early next year. She says, hopefully, God finish writing it. But yeah, various methods. I think once you are well versed in it, you can do it through, I do it through drumming and meditation and a repeated process. But I think if you are starting off, then you need to work out various trance methods. Riding the hedge isn't just meditation. It's much, much more than that. So you have to learn how to take yourself into trance. So yeah, there is a whole chat about that, and there will be a book as well. It's a huge, huge subject, but something I do on a regular basis. Maddie, The Craft. Always wanted to be Nancy. It's another classic. It's another classic. Diane, are you still enjoying The Rivers of London? But yes, I'm on. My book is over there. What am I on? Lies Sleeping, which I think you can just see the book there. This is my reading chair. Reading armchair. Yeah, that's book 7 I'm on now, in The Rivers of London. Absolutely love them. Absolutely brilliant. Ben Aronovich, can highly recommend the Rivers of London series. Very, very well written. Jane, The Craft. Hated the way they kept referring to the corners rather than the quarters. Do you know, I'd never really thought about that. Reason my mind's kind of stopped, apart from the fact that it's not working today, there is, if you look at the Kitchen Witch blog, one of our lovely students has just written about casting a square rather than a circle. Because if you are casting a circle in a room indoors, it's a square. So she's casting a circle, but as a square. So corners would actually make sense. Jane, never noticed that. Jane, I'm going to have to watch it again, aren't I, to have a look. Is Samhain a good time to do cord cutting, especially as it will be in the waning moon phase? Anytime, I think more important that it's a waning moon than the Samhain. Samhain, I kind of recognize as it is the time of the ancestors. It's about remembering those that have gone before us. It is about connecting with the other world. But yeah, it's the end of summer. So endings, that would tie in quite nicely. But I would say more importantly, the waning moon phase, yes, that would work very well. Very well indeed. Lisa, children Halloween, yeah. Daughter still holds a grudge that I dragged her to see the Proclaimers in concert one Halloween when she was about 11 years old, when she wanted to be dressing up and trick-or-treating. What a terrible mother. No, I'd go with the gig. Yeah, absolutely. Debbie, never managed to see Lord of the Rings through to the end. I fell asleep. It's a long film. My son has suggested that we watch the extended version, which is 11 hours. I read the books. I've read The Hobbit several times, and I love it. The Lord of the Rings and the Silmarillion I have read through once because I found it very, very hard going. So I am with you in that. Antoinette, Craft, it's where the weirdos are, mister. We're proud weirdos. Absolutely proud weirdos. Kiki's delivery service. That sounds quite dubious. Not very witchy, but very open about the presence of witches as normal people. Not the thing I wanted to remember. I don't want to be normal. Oh, no, we don't want to be normal. Oh, Angela, lovely film, Secret of Moonacre. Some amazing costumes in it too. Some of the outfits, absolutely fantastic. Yes, Secret of Moonacre, can highly recommend that one too. And it has Tim Curry in it as well. So Oh, Dark Song. Is that a horror one? Yeah. I'm a bad witch. I don't do horror films. Antoinette, Robin Hood with Kevin Costner. Oh, that's a very traditional witch, yes. David, I have a question? Can anyone recommend a good Celtic mythology resource book? All mine are over 20 plus years old, so out of date. Although I know it's ironic for history books, it is, isn't it? I am going to recommend Moon Books, one of the publishers that I work for, because they've got quite a lot of the Pagan Portals series has a lot of books on the Celtic deities, individual Celtic deities. They are doing a Pantheon series too. And I've got a feeling that Morgan Daimler's writing one about the Celtic Pantheon, but I don't know if it's out yet. But that would be worth having a look at. But if anyone's got any recommendations, do pop them in the comments for David. Jackie, the witch, Black Phillip is a legend. Well, we know Black Phillip, don't we? From the Bewitched Botanicals range, because you have Black Phillip soap. I highly recommend. Highly recommend. Diane, can't do horror films either. The ones I watched in my teens still haunt me. I can remember reading The Fog. Not watching it, but reading it as a book as a teenager. I could only read it in the daytime because it was just so terrifying. Never did that again. Jackie, you can find the hilariously bad Midnight Offerings on YouTube. I will look those up. David, can't believe no one's mentioned. I did The Witches of Eastwick. Yes, that good series, very good series. Loved it, but it ends. They did 2 series and it ended on a cliffhanger, and then they never made any more. So if you do watch them, be prepared that there's no actual ending to it, which is quite frustrating. The New Adventures of Robin Hood on ITV in the 80s. TV in the 80s. Love it. Michael Braid and the gorgeous Judy Trott. That hair and music, Black Planet. Yeah, well, their music's always good. Always good. Interesting. Karen, Good Omens. Now, you will know, I'm sure, that I am a huge fan of Sir Terry Pratchett. I am a total official Kevin. I loved that Good Omens book. I love Michael Sheen. I like David Tennant. Could not get into the TV adaptation of Good Omens. I really couldn't. And I've tried 3 times now and not made it through the first series. I don't know what it is about it. I think Michael Sheen plays the character brilliantly. I am not convinced David Tennant is the right person for that character, personally. I don't know what it is. I can't get into it. And I'm really disappointed in that. Zephora, you might like Mrs. Peregrine's Home for Unusual Children. I have seen that. That is very good too. Who doesn't love Jake Nixon being the man in black? Know that one either. Can look at all these things. Good morning, Eve. Jackie, Dark Secret of Harvest Home on YouTube, plus Crowhaven Farm, all free to watch on YouTube. Great folk horror. Folklore, folk stories. Brilliant resource for horror, absolutely. I have the cat. 1:30 a.m. head to head. Oh, good night. 1:30 a.m. You're mad. Pete in a black tie, snazzy. Penny Dreadful. Oh, I've seen that advertised. Sephora, Penny Dreadful. Most things Eva Green is a bit magical and dark. I have seen that advertised. I haven't watched it. That's another one to add. Angela, more vampires and weird wolves, but what we do in the shadows is a hilarious film. Honestly, I do watch things. I haven't seen over half of these. Emma, every time you say in a book in it, I have 5 book contracts, I think, at the minute. Things that I'm writing. Yeah. Jane, single magpie. Good morning, Captain. That's a feeble attempt at spitting. Yes, I salute the magpies. There are 2. There's a couple, magpie couple. that I think they are living in a couple of doors down in their garage. So I do see them on a regular basis. But yeah, you have to. That was a pigeon then. You have to. I always do. Good morning, Magpie. Lorraine loved Discovery of Witches books. I loved the books. TV series was good, even though it has vampires and demons. Yeah, Discovery of Witches books were very good. David, most of Miyazaki's anime have some lovely Western imagery, even though it's mostly Shinto. Though he stresses it's not. Anime is a fascinating genre. Fascinating. Sephora. Luna Nera is the name of the Italian witch show. I don't know that one either. Don't know that one either. Diane, loved that blog. Thought it was so clever. Oh, that's it. Yes, the blog on casting a square rather than a circle. Fascinating idea. We all do it. Just, yeah. Dawny, absolutely love Fate the Winx saga, but it's a series on Netflix. Sweet Tooth. Oh, I've seen that advertised too. The Elves, Lock and Key, Shadowhunters, October Faction, the Bureau of Magical Things. I've seen, yes. I'm going to have a look, aren't I? Actually, we got rid of Netflix, but it might be worth getting it back if it's worth it. Yeah. Lizzie, not a movie, still love the TV series Bewitched. My daughter's called Samantha. It's a classic. Absolute classic, yes. Absolute classic. Lizzie, just wondered about a personal med. Yes, hedge riding, I think, it is not something to be taken lightly. It's definitely not something for those that are beginners. I know you're not. So the book, I am putting out different ways to start off. But it is very different to meditation. So there are different ways of doing it. But yeah, do have a look on YouTube. I did do a whole chat about hedge riding. Yeah. Little Miss Nemo. Then there's Charmed and the American interpretation of Morrissey. I am a human and I need to. Yes, now I'm singing the theme tune in my head. Yeah, I have watched all of Charmed. Yeah. Okay, I haven't watched the new one. New one is amazing. I haven't watched the new one, only watched the old one. Yeah. Oh, there's Moonbook's website linked to. Thank you, Jane. Love a good horror film. Off for the lights. Yeah, no. Debbie, as Terry Pratchett fan, I love all his witchy characters. Yeah, I think he nailed witchcraft. He absolutely nailed witchcraft, Terry Pratchett. Yeah, Granny Weatherwax is my icon. Absolutely. Absolutely. Jane, loved Good Omens. My sister tells me the new series isn't nearly as good, though. I'd say I didn't make it through the first one, so I haven't watched the second one. Sephora, The Magicians is a great show. See, I've heard of these. I need more hours in the day, I think. And Toinette, Good Omens 2 was really good. Didn't quite get into the... Well, maybe I should give it another go. Debbie, love Terry Pratchett books and films. The films I have struggled with, the Colour of Magic and even Hogfather. The Going Postal, I think, is my favourite adaptation of one of Terry Pratchett's books into film. I thought that was done very well. Janet, loved watching Night Gallery. Has some involved, which is Little Miss Nemo, Harry Potter, and then Harry Potter. Yeah, I think, I say, I loved the books. My kids loved the books, It's what they watched when they were home school poorly. It's easy watching. It does get darker, obviously. Have you watched The Sandman on Netflix? No, we did get rid of Netflix because they started getting funny about who you shared it with. No, we found we weren't watching it, so we got rid of it. But I have heard of The Sandman. Oh, yes. Nobody's mentioned the Wicker Man films. Both fabulous. I'll take your word for that. I've seen bits and pieces of the original. It is a classic, obviously. Another vote for Penny Dreadful. Good morning, Jalala. Yeah, it's on my list. Yeah, Lizzie. Yeah, Wicker Man. It is classic, isn't it? It is a classic. Okay, which question? We are renovating the house that the parents never did much upkeep, so we're stripping back the layers of crap and negativity. We came to the house ourselves due to unfortunate personal circumstances, so there's all that entailed. How do you make peace with the house, particularly when spiritually and mentally you long to live elsewhere? Won't the house pick up on that? Yeah. Houses are, I don't think houses are any different to places. You'll go to Stonehenge and you pick up the energy. You go to Glastonbury, you pick up the energy. Your house is no different. It absorbs the energy from everything around it. I think it's going to take you time. The fact that you are renovating and stripping back the layers will help, because you are removing all that negative energy. And you need to make it your own. You do need to make it your own. And it is about connecting with that energy. Connect with the energy of the house. Connect with the energy of the land beneath it and make your peace with it. Talk to it. Make that connection. It's just like if you are working with a new deity. You have to build up a relationship with it. And it will take a little bit of time, but connect with the house, tell it that you're renovating it, talk it through the process, keep it linked in. I know, sounds bonkers. I know. I resemble that totally. Happily be bonkers, best place. Yeah, it's about making that connection, keeping that connection, and building that relationship with the house. It will take some time. Talk to it, make that connection, is my best advice, really. Sephora, watch the New Zealand version of What We Do in the Shadows, not the American one. Okay. Lizzie's asking where you can watch it in the UK, so if anyone has the answer to that one. Sephora, Henry Cavill in The Witcher. Now, I've seen that one advertised too and not got around to watching it. Love the fact he looks like he does, but it's total geek. Christine, also inquire about his wife and chicks, thereby suggesting I saw more than one magpie. Yes, the tradition is that you say good morning to the magpie and ask how the family is. I could see both of them, so it was all good. But yes, that is tradition. Jalala suggested, if you, all of these films and TV series we're mentioning, if you do Google them, it usually tells you where they are showing. Emma, I don't watch a lot of films. The only witch things I've seen on TV are Charmed, Willow, Tara, and Buffy. Oh, good old Buffy. Oh, DVDs. Oh, yeah. Good old Buffy. Antoinette, the Crow original movie is my favourite love story, but the Law and Witch make it festive. We like a bit of, like we always say, we like a bit of humour in our murder TV shows. So we like a bit of love in our horror films too, obviously. Sephora, The Whale Rider, which is a New Zealand film and very spiritual based. I do like whales, beautiful animals. Angela, remember Charmed when it had 3 as a magic number as a theme tune? Loved that song, but it seems to have vanished altogether. Searched for it, but there's not a trace that it even existed. I don't remember that. I'm familiar with the usual theme tune. But someone's on a mission now. If anyone can help Angela with that one. Series 2 of The Wheel, Lost Flowers of Alice Hart, Shelter and the Continental, all on Prime. Friday Night Witching TV. I like that. Friday Night Witching TV. Debbie, I have a series 6 teenage books by Michael Scott. The Alchemist, the Magician, the Sorceress, the Necromancer, the Warlock, and the Enchantress. I thoroughly enjoyed them. I don't know those ones either. Oh, this list of... I am going to have to give up work just so that I can watch all of these things and read all of the books. Oh, Vincent Price. Jane, Witchfinder General. Vincent Price was way too old for the role and such a ham actor in it. He's a legend, though. Most of it was just gratuitous, lascivious nastiness. Oh, that's too many long words this morning. Nothing like the real story. I haven't seen that one either. Dawny, The Wheel of Time on Amazon is very good. Don't know that one either. Oh, I am just going to have to give up work. No, because I need... No, I don't. I'm not putting that in the universe because I need the salary. Antoinette, I have a bunch of magpies that visit the garden daily, 1 to 8. Haven't done a daily count. Maybe I should see if there's a pattern. Definitely worth watching. They are very, very magical birds. David, magpies, love the guys. Find it interesting that they're only consumed. Consumed, do you mean considered? Bad luck in Christianity. Look in most of the cultures and you'll find their omens of luck. It's the little poem, isn't it? The one that I know from childhood. 1 for sorrow, 2 for joy, and so on and so forth. I think they get a bit of a bad rap, don't they? And I've just huge flock of sparrows just flew over as well. Yeah, they get a bad rap, magpies. They are one of the animals I work with. They do often appear. I mean, they appear because there's a couple nesting. But they usually appear with a message if there's gossip happening or if there's a bit of mischief going on. So it's worth looking into it if they show up unusually. Sephora, not a film showing age, but we love to get up on Sunday and listen to the Children's Hour on national radio. Bad Jelly and the Witch. Started to love anything Monty Python like. Bad Jelly and the Witch. I like that. Oh, there we are. There's an answer for you. The song is called The Magic Number by Della Soul. There you go. Hopefully you'll be able to find your song now. Thank you for that. Jalala, I remember watching Salem's Lot with David Soul. I remember that. Scary as hell back then, but I watched it recently and it's so bad it's funny. But you know, oh yeah, David Soul. I remember that. Do remember that. Cat, the originals, good series. Salem, American Horror Story, Coven. I've watched the originals. That was very good. That was very good. Yeah, so for American Horror Stories, they would be too scary for me. Yeah, we're going to skim past that one. Antoinette, a couple of the cheeky ones come right up the back door when it's open. We did have, a few years back, a couple of magpies that used to come up and tap on the window of the back door if there wasn't any food out. Yeah. Jackie, really must all watch The Dark Secret of Harvest Home on YouTube. Someone put the 3-hour TV series on there. Stressed out city family moved to the hamlet of Cornwall Coombe, soon to find themselves mixed up in mysterious pagan rituals and the dangers of poking around where you shouldn't. Lots of earth reference, a harvest lord and corn maiden, chosen once every 7 years, and then what happens to them? Well, we're all going to do that now. Don't hop over to YouTube just yet. Give me 10 minutes and then you can go and watch it. Dawny, The Umbrella Academy is also a good series. I haven't seen that, but my daughter and her husband were talking about that one. They thought it was a good series. Fate, A Wink Saga is kind of fun. I have heard of that one. Eve, Salem thought, yes, scary as hell. Even bought the DVD. Not so scary now. It's funny, isn't it, how her ideas changed. David, have magpies familiar? Long story that started off with a very angry magpie spirit and ended up hanging out with me now. You charmed him. Charmed him. Cat, Motherland Fort Salem. I don't know that one either. A bit rubbish at this, aren't I? Jane, used to love the old Bob Hope thriller, The Cat and the Canary. Bob Hope was such a legend. Can't remember what it was about, but I loved it. I need to dig that one out again. Antoinette, they started appearing when I started looking at tarot cards. magpies and psychic abilities. Must be something in their appearance. The crows too. I think all of the corvid family are very, very magical birds. Crows, ravens, magpies, all linked, jackdaws, all linked to magic and mysteries and the other world. Yeah, absolutely. Emmylou, Once Upon a Time, such a good series. I started watching that and never got to finish it. I don't know why. Time, I think. Karen, they walk along our window ledge, the magpies, and all the houses' aerial wires have been pulled down like little swings where they often sit when it's raining. They are little beggars, aren't they? Oh, The Wizard of Oz. Yeah, definitely. Classic. Emma. Not as rubbish as I am, only recognise a few of these films and TV series. Too much of a gamer. I think I like to read. I do like to read. So that's kind of my go-to, I think. Lots of recommendations there, though. And I think it's nice to... There are times when we lose our connection. There are times when we think, oh, I need a boost of something witchy. And I think watching something like Practical Magic or, whatever it might be, Sorcerer's Apprentice, because he wears... Nicolas Cage has absolutely excellent outfits in it. And he has witchcraft shoes, magician's shoes. He wears special shoes to be a magician, which I think everyone should do. So I think we have our favourites, don't we, that we tend to go back to, that we all, come away from that thinking, yeah, feel a bit more witchy now. Little Miss Nemo is asking, was Once Upon a Time ever resolved? I don't have the answer to that one. If anyone can answer that. Kerry liked The Witches of East End. I did. It's just that, it ended on a cliffhanger and they didn't renew it. It's just rude. Right, Diane's putting it in the mix here. Look, is it only me who really hates The Wizard of Oz? Okay. I think it's classic. I like it. What is it you don't like about it, Diane? Controversial. Debbie, our magpies pull the moss off our roof, then chatter when they don't find a tasty morsel hiding. I had a big terracotta dish in the garden with all succulent plants. Special soil, gravel, all these lovely little succulent plants. It was quite a big dish. And the pigeons would pull all the succulents out and throw them on the floor. And I'd plant them all back in, and then they'd do exactly the same thing. I had to stop putting it out there because the pigeons kept pulling all the plants out. Birds. Steve, here in Avebury, it's all about crows and jackdaws. You don't get jackdaws here. We get magpies, we get crows. We don't get jackdaws where I am. Very vocal. Spent a couple of hours yesterday afternoon watching and listening. You could almost make out the conversation. Yes. They are very, very intelligent birds. Very intelligent birds. Well, here's your answer to Once Upon a Time. Look, last season is weird, but they wrap it up nicely at the end. There you go. Zephora, I had a Ganesh incense and candle burner in which a candle mysteriously reignited and burned for 3 days. It was just bursting into flames when it pulled in the elephant burner. When we smelt it and realised what was happening, my little Ganesh got a very large piece of ginger slice to say thank you for saving the shed. Ganesh, I work with him quite often. If I need something to be done quickly, or I need obstacles moved out of the way so that something can, it's Ganesh that I work with. But yeah, definitely deserved a bit of ginger slice and more. Vanessa, Merlin in the 90s was a good watch for me. It's another one that I tried and I couldn't quite get into. But the sun's come out again now. That's why I've gone all bright. Antoinette, just don't like the magpies killing all the sparrows living around my property. Do try to ask for them to only visit for ground shrubs. I must admit, we get a lot of sparrows, awful lot of sparrows. Majority of birds around our bird feeders are sparrows. I haven't ever had any problems with the magpies taking them out, touch wood. But, it's cycle of life stuff, isn't it, I guess? Dawny, watching TV. Hello, watching TV. Always series, never normal TV. It's a way for me to decompress. Yeah, when I need my energy topped up and resting, then I force myself to watch series or movies that have magic in it. It is, you know, Pete and I like to sit and decompress in the evenings. We generally tend to watch murders, mysteries, you know. What are we watching at the moment? The Closer we're watching at the moment. But yeah, we tend to watch Lewis and Law and Order and Grimm, Bones. Yeah, all of the bit of the detective stuff. It's switching your brain off, isn't it? I do remember reading research once that your brain, when you're watching the television, isn't fully absorbed. If you're reading a book, your brain is totally involved in it. If you're watching the television, your brain isn't so caught up in it. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. It makes sense. All the comments of my brain's gone. Diane's not sure. Wizard of Oz. I haven't watched it for years, to be honest. Haven't watched it for years. Going back to practical magic, what I like is the community of women that come together in the end. Nice. Yes, with all their broomsticks to form the circle. And their dustpan and brushes and things. Yeah, absolutely. It's, you know, it's Aidan Quinn, really. Okay, Diane, really not impressed with Wizard of Oz. Film equivalent of fingernails down the blackboard for me. Oh, that's not good. Angela, Peter and I were only talking the other day and decided we were going to start a new Samhain tradition of watching non-traditional witchy movies. So not practical magic, nothing wrong with it, love it, but everyone pulls it out this time of the year. Yeah, that one and Hocus Pocus kind of gets pulled out, doesn't it? Although in this family, we tend to pull out Rocky Horror as well. Little Miss Nemo, that's a vote for the Wizard of Oz. Favourite moment is when they pan around Munchkin Land. All those little mushroom houses and the terrace levels, magical. Yeah. Eric's agreeing. I think it can be a bit of a strain having to disguise ourselves as muggles in our daily lives for most of the year. It's so liberating to wear our normal clothes for Samhain. I'm probably one of, I don't know, I don't wear black very much. I went through the whole my wardrobe belongs to Stevie Nicks phase, but really those drapey sleeves, they get into everything. You can't eat with them, you can't cook with them. Totally impractical. I love colour. I do love colour. So I don't often wear black, I must admit, but I would like the aunt's outfits from Practical Magic. That would be very nice. Sephora. Yes, I did mention that one, but I say don't watch it if you want an ending because it finishes on a cliffhanger and they didn't make series 3. Julia Ormond, I love her because she's in one of my favourite films, Sabrina Fair. Yeah, she's brilliant. And it is good. It is good. Oh, another vote against Wizard of Oz. I'm going to get a petition up now. David, we have a rookery at the top of our road. We're surrounded by corvids. Perfect. 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 Debbie, TV series, films do not promote the imagination. I think that's one thing, isn't it? It's what if you read the book first, you get an image in your mind of what the characters look like, and quite often the TV series or the film, the actors don't look how you imagined them to, and it can be quite off-putting. Angela, can't stand the witches or Hocus Pocus. I don't mind either of them. I can't say I watch them overly a lot, but they're all okay. Vanessa, The Craft, yeah, it's a classic. Everything jumped then. Return to Oz was more like a children's horror film, scared me. And yes, I Returned to Oz, very creepy, bizarre film. Kerry, lots of bird feeders in my garden, and I have lots of blackbirds, like crows and some house sparrows, mainly crows. I love them all. We have mainly sparrows. Sparrows, starlings. Yeah. Come on up here. Let me come in. Come on. Emma. Witches of Eastwick film was good, a bit gruesome as I have a sickness phobia. Yeah, me too. Yes, that's Cher, isn't it? Yeah. Come on, up here. Okay, Witches of Eastwick film with Cher. Witches of East End TV series, 2 TV series. Yes, 2 different things. I may have gotten those confused then. Yes, Witches of Eastwick film with the cherries. Yeah. Ooh. Little Miss Nemo, what about Wicked? Oh, the book is brilliant. I haven't seen the stage show. This is Eric on his webcam. Look, haven't seen the stage show, but I have read the book, and the Wicked book is absolutely brilliant. I can highly recommend it. Sephora, did I mention Alexander Skarsgård spent a lot of time shirtless being a hunky vamp? Any of the Skarsgård family worth watching. We're definitely worth watching. Never eaten cherries. Yeah, Witches of Eastwick, you wouldn't eat cherries again, would you? Yeah, Diane, stage show of Wicked is fabulous. Jane, we've got sparrows in our garden for the first time in donkey's years. It's got so overgrown now. They suddenly realised how much new habitat they've got since I stopped gardening. There you go. Perfect. Perfect. I have vanished. That's because the sun's come out. Okay, so yes, my Eric alarm is telling me that it's now an hour. So I think that was more discussing films and TV series, which is good. I've got a whole list of stuff to watch. Thank you for all the recommendations. Yes, as I say, there are a couple of online courses I'm running for the College of Psychic Studies. We've got a Kitchen Witch ritual, online open ritual. Do have a look at the Facebook groups and my website for details of everything that's coming up, basically. Yeah, oh, I've gone completely, completely disappeared. Let's do that. There we go. Karen says, are you sharing list? If you scroll back through all the comments, Karen, you will find all of the recommendations. And lots of people, very kind, lovely people, have put where you can watch them too. So, yeah, lots of things. I'll have to scroll back through and find all those things. So thank you, as always, for joining me on a Wednesday. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, Eric's back. Hello. Have a fantastic week. And I will see you all next time. Take care, everyone.